Untitled City Homestead. Today I just wanted to draw up a plan of what I'm dreaming to do in the garden this coming year. Need to add my house on here. We'll have the house. Oops. This is not to scale. It's just a sketch. So I'll be just sketching things in here. Okay, so you guys have seen a lot of this. Actually, this is going to come out a little bit further over here because we've got our tree right here. Okay, right now we have our trellis for our pumpkin plants right here. We've got one panel for our tomatoes, and I've got 4 tomato plants on it. And then over here we have our other trellis for pumpkins. Now, next year what I want to do is I want to have 5, possibly 6 tomatoes on this. I want to add 1 more tomato trellis and do, I'm thinking 6 plants. We're going to actually plant these in the garden, in the ground. And then on the pumpkins, I want to do pumpkins, and I want to do zucchini, and I want to do cucumbers. I want to do some other kind of squash, and put those along there. And then over here, I think I'm going to plant my sunflowers. Woo, sunflowers! Because I have purchased from Baker Creek the giant, it's called the giant Mongolian sunflower, and they have big seeds that are like this big. Okay, and then this over here, my front garden bed, my porch is here, sidewalk, and then I have a little garden right here. Now, I'm waiting for delivery on a forsythia. I want to put the forsythia here. Over here we've got our daylily here, our daylily here, and I've also got 6 butterfly bushes coming, so I want to put 6 butterfly bushes along here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. And what I want to do with this is I want to bring pollinators in. I need native bees to come in. I need a place for the hummingbirds to come. And so we're going to create these low water plants that will help the hummingbirds and the bees and all the pollinators come in and help pollinate my plants. Okay, so we got a forsythia there. I've got 2 forsythias coming, so I'm thinking I might put the second one here. I've got 1 manzanita left right here, and we've lost all the other 4, so I've got to make some decisions on that. Right here, I definitely want to do some ground cover of some sort, and then I need to decide if I'm going to put some little bushes in here or what. What am I going to do right here? Over here on this side of the house, this is the east side, so it gets sun in the morning and for a good chunk of the day, but not too long. And so what I want to do is I want to make this my herb garden area and put a whole bunch of herbs in here and try and grow an herb garden so I want to start doing some basic herbalism and see if I can't learn how to do some of those things that herbs help to take care of. Now, something else that I want to do, we have all this area here. Oh, let me put little rocks here. Got rocks here. Rocks go all the way up here. Actually, there's a little, like a gate thingy here. It's opening. Okay. So then I've got all this rocky space, and what I'm hoping to do is either do containers with a wick system, like a big pot, or do a couple of raised beds in here so that I can do more, so that I can do some more things that require full sun. And maybe even along here, I don't know. What I'd kind of like to do, well, yeah. So, kind of what I'm hoping is maybe some raised beds or some other kind of container gardening here, so that we can maximize our space and our growing, the things that we grow, because I want to grow a lot of things and do a lot of successive gardening. So I want to do things that are early season, mid-season, late season, and so this is my hope. So I got to figure out some things over here. Actually, I'm thinking about possibly doing a couple of rose bushes, some smaller type rose bushes, or something that I at least keep trimmed down so that they don't come over the porch. Something just really nice and little with flowers on it. And then, who knows, maybe I'll just do sunflowers here next year again. Just do some rose or something. We'll see. The one thing I have to be careful about is this manzanita, because this manzanita does not require very much water. In fact, if you water it too much, it will die. And so I want to be careful with that. So, it's kind of a basic garden plan for next year. We'll see what my husband will let me do. We'll see what our finances let us do. And we'll see what we can learn and do, and I know we'll make mistakes, and that's okay. That's how we learn, is by making mistakes and having failures. Next is our chicken moat garden. And right now, the chicken moat garden looks a bit like this. Here's our chicken coop. We have a fence that goes this way, this way, this way, and comes back this way. So this is kind of what we got right now. My hope is to take a piece down this way and then bring a bit down this way, this way, this way, and this way. So actually, this actually comes down right here. Okay, and then this middle part will be my garden area. And so I want to put a raised bed here, and then I also want to put raised beds here. And possibly a smaller raised bed here. Though I am going to need a workspace. Though what I could do is actually just get some sort of table and put a table here in the middle for workspace. And so this is what I'm kind of hoping. The gate would be right here to go in, because it's about where the gate is for the chicken coop here. So that's kind of the hope for that. And then I can plant some more squash, because what I want to do is put some trellises this way and this way over the top of the chicken moat garden to allow some squash and pumpkin to grow up and over that way. Same over here. Have a trellis so that the squash and pumpkin can grow over this way. And then do things like radishes and turnips and beets, maybe some corn and beans. So, you know, I have lots of different things that I want to do, and so mostly it's just getting these raised beds built up and filled with soil so that I can actually plant something. It's the dream, it's the hope. We will keep working on it and hope and pray and work hard to have our garden areas all ready for next year. And I'm really excited about that. I've been buying seeds to be all ready for it, and I've been making my plan, and I'll show you that in a bit as well. So my current planting schedule is starting in March of next year. Now, obviously March is still pretty cold. Typically here in the upper mountain valleys of Utah, our frost date, our last frost date, is like 2 weeks after Mother's Day. So I'm just counting it from Memorial Day weekend. So what does that mean? That means I need to build one of these. So I've got to build raised bed greenhouse cover. A lot of these will be started in the house anyway. You know, we're gonna have to find a place where we can put the containers and grow them until I can build a greenhouse, which is another dream. This is kind of what we're going to have to do is work it so that I have some shelves or something in maybe my living room where the main front window is, just for a little while in the spring so that we can do this. Now I've got it color coded, so inside planting, so everything you see in red, I'm going to be planting in containers in the house. The blue is when I feel like I can start harvesting some of these things from the inside. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. It may be further out, or it may, you know, I may not even grow anything. But then, as we move into April, we start seeing some of this yellow color, which is outside planting. Radishes will start, you put them in before the frosts are over, and they grow. And you can see I've got radish here. What I'm trying to do is some successive planting. I don't want to harvest 300 radishes all at once and then never be able to eat them and not be able to give them away. And so I'm going to plant some radishes here. They'll get harvested in, radishes don't take very long. In fact, I probably start harvesting radishes right around in here. You know, because I know the ones that I've just recently planted, they say they're mature in 22 days. So if it takes 3 weeks for the radishes, I plant them here, and then I'm harvesting here. And then I harvest the next week, and then I harvest the next week. Gives me a chance to eat the radishes that I've been given, or somehow preserve them. Same with the kale, lettuce, and spinach. You know, they grow relatively quickly, and you can harvest them in small amounts, and then at a certain point you need to harvest the whole thing. And then that way, you've always got lettuce and that kind of thing going all through your growing season. So you can see a lot of this lettuce, spinach, kale, basil. So we've got a lot of herbs going on. The tomatoes and peppers I'm planting every 2 weeks inside. And then that means I plant every 2 weeks outside, and then I'll have a gradual harvest over time. May becomes a bigger month for planting outside, harvesting, and all of that stuff. So we get to start doing things like bee balm and carrots and parsnips, sunflowers and peas. So all those things. We plant some more things inside, we plant some things outside. We start harvesting things and we finish harvesting things. And then we get into, in June is when we get to plant all those starts that we started on the inside. So our pumpkins and zucchinis and tomatoes and peppers and squash, cucumbers. And then as we move into July, there's less planting, more harvesting, and it slows down just a little bit because it's just the hottest part of the year. So not so much is growing. Things are growing, but not so much is being ready for harvest. And August is where you're going to start doing your late season stuff. That's, you know, we get the rest of this stuff planted so that we can have a fall crop of things to harvest. Things like zucchini, kale, spinach, and lettuce again. September, it's all about harvesting, very little planting, and we continue to harvest even into hopefully October, and this is where the greenhouse covers for the raised beds come in handy, and all the way into November. I'm hoping to get some kale all the way to mid-November. So, you know, the greenhouse covers for your raised beds will extend the season. Here, if I were to just do seasonal stuff, it would, I wouldn't be able to hardly do anything until the end of April. This year, I didn't even start anything until it was June. And so if I want to do my own plants and not rely on garden centers and the hardware store and whatever, then I need to be doing my own seed planting and collecting and all of that stuff so that I can have a really great harvest. Now, I know that the best laid plans never work, but it doesn't hurt to be prepared and to at least have an idea of what you want to do. You know, that shows exact dates and that kind of thing, and I know that things don't always work that way. Sometimes we forget to water, sometimes plants don't germinate, sometimes the animals get into the garden, and so we are just going to do the best we can. It's the first time that I'm hoping to have a really big garden and be able to preserve a lot of food, a lot of herbs, and to just have really good food that's blessed by the sun. I love eating tomatoes out of the garden because to me they taste like sunshine. And that's the best part about growing things in the garden, is to know that you help create something that's delicious, that's healthy, and that you can love. Grocery store vegetables, they're okay, but they're not what comes out of your garden. And so I encourage you to start thinking about next spring. What do you want to plant? What do you really want to plant in your garden? What do you really want to do to help your family be more self-reliant? My last video was doing shoebox gardens. If that's all you can do, because all you have is an apartment with maybe just one little window, do that. Just grow something. It will make you feel better. It will help you learn and grow, and it'll just, for me, it just makes me happy to see things grow, and I do love that. So, thank you for joining me today. I know it was a little different from what I usually do. Hopefully you found it kind of interesting. If you didn't, that's okay. I have better videos. If you did, please like, subscribe, check out some of our other videos, share them with a friend, and invite a friend to come on over and watch us here at Hub City Homestead. I'm Ruth. I'm grateful that you've been here with me today, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.